album was a very good album. I like that. I enjoyed it.
Oh, so the bands that we put together for the compilation, you mean?
It's a great compilation. It's a great album.
Welcome to the podcast. Woo! With Alex Rodriguez and Ron Williams. Hey! They talk about the Orange County music scene, from the past to the present and the future. Today we're talking about the Orange County rock with a twist of lemon compilation. We welcome Rick Felan from the band Hot Monkey Love, and his songs Electrical Cars and In My Bed. He also shares stories about his new albums that are orange, yellow, and red. He also talks about life on the farm in Texas, where he raises real goats and chickens and a bunch of cartoon monkeys. Now join Ron and Rick as they talk about a lifetime of making colorful music.
So let's introduce people. So everybody kind of knows me from the podcast now, but everybody, this is Rick Felan. He's
Hello,
the lead
everybody.
singer. He's the lead singer, songwriter. He plays a lot of different instruments for the band Hot Monkey Love. His band Hot Monkey Love has been around as long as CDs have been around, right? I think your first recordings were probably in the early 1990s. And then nowadays you're still
1994.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really, that's about the time that we met. I think we might have met in 1995 or late 1995 going into 1996, which is when the compilation came out. But your band, Hot Monkey Love, I met you and Oscar and Mike. Is that the drummer's name?
Mikey, yeah.
And Mikey. And then you also had a guitar player who would come in once in a while. He was really good at doing solos. But like, was he part of the band officially? Can you introduce maybe your bandmates?
That was basically it. We had different people come in and out, but it was me, Oscar Zaragoza, and Mike Groupie were the band all the time. And then there was a long period of time, and I think you were there. Was it Alex Pinedo? He was the lead guitarist. Is that the one?
Yeah. I think that guy. Yeah, he kind of was there some of the time and not all the time.
He wasn't there very important in the band. He was the lead guitarist.
Yeah.
But it's funny when we're young, you know, you always wish you could have done things better. And I was so regimented about practice. We do each song like 10 times each. And the guys, you could tell they weren't having fun anymore. It was like, all right, let's do it again, because I wanted to sound so good. And sometimes it took the fun out of it. And I wish I would have done that better and just had more fun back then.
Well, so early on in my band, and I've already told people about my band Early Man, but I joined them like I think in 1995. So it was probably about a year into performing around town, and we only had 20 or 25 songs that we played. And when we were going around Orange County and playing at different clubs, I must have run into you at some club, whether it was the Boar's Head or maybe somewhere in Fullerton or Orange County. Do you kind of remember if we met like playing shows together, or how did we end up meeting?
It could have been in Fullerton. Didn't we do shows out there too?
I'm sure we did. Yep.
Different, where bands would meet at different get-togethers of shows, and we would do the flyers. We would do our own flyers, and it would be Bread Circus and Hot Monkey Love and some other band, and
on different nights it'd be different groups. Yeah, for sure.
One night we played with Early Man. You were one of the bands on the booking. Whoever booked the show also booked you guys and also booked us. And
I really liked your style immediately. I was not only just your personality, because you were really friendly and you were really good talkative. I remember you being very connected to the audience, because these songs, and this is me projecting onto you, I always remember every time we ever talked about your music, they were like your babies. Like you were raising these little children songs, but they were great songs. And when we met that night, I was like, wow, this guy's a really good musician. But I also kind of liked your songs. You're a little bit the Beatles. You're kind of like, the name was hilarious. Hot Monkey Love was the best band name that I've ever had in my entire life. Everybody always says, you just say Hot Monkey Love? Is that the name of the band? I go, yeah, Rick from Hot Monkey Love. We connected. You were like, hey, I like your band. Can I come and hear you guys practice or play or something? Because I've already told the story one time, but you came out to West Covina, and we had a house out there. We all lived together. And you came, and either you listened to us play, or maybe I know you brought your guitar, because my bandmates took off to go in the house, and we stayed out in the garage. And I
I
think we
went
played
to
like
go see y'all practice. I went to go see your band practice. And
okay.
then after y'all practice, you and I played for hours.
I think we played like 35 songs. Like
Yeah.
I think you played every single song that you know, and I just played along. And being at the time, I was probably uh, at the time I was probably at my top of my game in terms of being a drummer. Like as terms of my skill or playing along, because I remember we clicked right away. And I was like, okay, well, tell me what this one is. And you'd give it a little beat, and you kind of give me a little hint, and I'd play along. And then we'd play another song, and another song. I swear I remember playing like 35 songs. I mean, it was
I
wild.
think we recorded it.
Oh,
I think at one point I had a copy of it.
I would
I
kill
don't
for
have
that.
it anymore. I wish I did, but I think we recorded that jam session.
I don't remember doing that because, God, I that was just awesome. And the way that I explained the story was like, these were two musicians that had just met. We got in a room together and just played, and it was just for our entertainment. Like, in other words, like, there was no audience, no crowd, nobody was in there, and we were just bonding as musicians. So I think that was kind of our musical friendship started like that day. So I don't know, what do you remember from back then?
Being excited about being in a band, because
Yeah.
I'm originally from Texas, is where I live now.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had finished like a semester of college, I had an opportunity to go to California, and my friend said, hey, if you're serious about your music, you can come to California and stay here till you get settled, and this is the place to be.
Yeah.
And I was young enough, and it was one of my best friends, so I'm like, okay, I got nothing to lose. And I did. And just talking to people about my music and writing songs in the little room that I was sharing with my friend, and finding some people that also played and wanted to start a band. So
Sure.
my first band was a saxophone player. They were twins and a keyboardist. So
Nice.
we were doing Everybody Knows She's My Baby with saxophone and keyboards. And we swore we were going to be the band that brought the saxophone back. And we did.
Yeah, those are the first kind of bands that I played in after school, was jazz bands, like a blues band, jazz band. And so I was used to having trumpets or saxophones or trombones or pianos, stand-up bass. Like, I was used to that. When I joined that early man band, it was a 3-piece, and it was alternative rock. And do you remember what was kind of big in the mid 90s in Orange County was ska,
There was No Doubt
punk.
and Sublime.
Yeah. Oh, and Sublime for sure. Yeah.
The
So
studio
those
that we recorded your Orange County compilation, they had Gwen Stefani and the dude from Sublime do some stuff, early stuff there together when they were like more hardcore, when No Doubt was a little bit even punkier or something, and more harder ska. And I remember them talking about that at that studio, and they were one of the bands that we saw make it. It was the moment that they released that Tragic Kingdom. I mean, we were there when Kurt Cobain, it was like he wasn't there, even the first album Bleach. And then by the time the second one caught on, it was like they were it. And they kind of epitomized the 90s to this day. I see little babies wearing Nirvana shirts.
Yeah, nowadays. Yeah. Well, so who were your musical influences growing up? I mean, those were people that we met when we were, in our mid-20s. Who were your influences growing up?
My first concert was Chuck Berry. My parents, maybe just my mom, but we went to a place here in Texas called, it was either Six Flags or it was Astroworld, that don't exist anymore. But there was a little stage down there, how like Disneyland would have their stages, and Chuck Berry was doing that thing, going across the stage. And I remember them telling me how important he was, and me kind of knowing it, like, oh, that's Chuck Berry. And my dad loved Elvis and Chuck Berry and stuff. So that's got to be the first influence that was not of my choice, because my dad was a big Elvis fan, and then he became a big Beatles fan. My mom loved Elvis, but
same here, my mom too.
Yeah, so that was in the Doors, because I did live in California during the '67 Summer of Love, because my dad came to California to get a job, and we stayed for about 2 years, and then we came back to Texas, and then I stayed in Texas until that moment I told you that I decided, like, okay, I did a year of college. I'm going to California to try to fulfill my dream and do something with my music. I got nothing to lose, is what I felt. And I did. And then when Michelle, who's my partner, got together with me, she got a job opportunity in Chicago, and I said, all right, let's do this. So we lived 6 years in Chicago, and it was a great experience. And musically too, I had not Hot Monkey Love, but we called it Monkey Love Universe. In Chicago, we were known as Monkey Love Universe, and we were starting to play at the bigger gigs, and it was all people that I worked with, because that's all.
Does she sing? Does she sing or play? What? No,
she's an artist. She's got pictures on the walls too.
Okay.
But she's too busy with her job. She's also very smart, and she does banking stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you guys worked together, she was kind of your manager, or she was just kind of helping you, like, just make sure you're at the shows?
Yeah. No, Michelle is just my girl. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But that's what took me to Chicago, and that was more influence on my music. But the first influences that influenced me was the 50s, 60s stuff from my dad. And then me on my own discovering the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, and going on to what was popular, to the AC/DCs, to the new wave stuff. And when I graduated, it was Duran Duran, and it was Flock of Seagulls, and
so your influences are all over the board.
Oh, I got it all. I got it all. Fuck yeah.
I got you. So yeah. I can attest to, when, from the moment I met you, obviously you were such a driven artist. You all you wanted to do was write and record and get your music heard. And your animations, I remember when you were in Chicago, we were in touch, and you were asking me to help with animations, like, because you really wanted to do like a music video, or you wanted to do a cartoon, or you wanted to do like your Hot Monkey Love characters, like your red monkey and your orange monkey and your yellow monkey, like you wanted them to be like I don't, like the Power Rangers, or you kind of wanted them to be like even the Teletubbies, like it just reminded me of, like,
my pattern was supposed to be a little story with the little cartoon monkeys and their outer space monkeys and the whole story behind that, and then they break away into a song, because they're of course a band, and then it has another skit, and then each episode would have like a song and a little skit. That was my idea. But to get it done with cartoon animation is crazy complicated and hard.
Yeah.
So I did get that cartoon out, the My Blue Girlfriend with the little monkeys, and it is what it is, but it's the only one that has that little animation thing. Now,
yeah, you had a story, like they had like a Cadillac. It was like a flying Cadillac, a spaceship kind of thing.
They were from this galaxy, and it was like a planetary federation, and one planet was the red monkeys and the blue monkeys, and they would all travel back and forth and stuff, and every once in a while they would come to go on vacations. And one year, a group of friends, the red one and a yellow one, went to Earth, and they're all allowed to bring one gift back that can affect the human race, or the timestamp. The human race.
Okay.
It doesn't affect time like
the timeline, like it won't mess up the timeline.
It takes something, but it can't pick anything up. So they took an old beat up red Cadillac that was in a junkyard that nobody cared for, but they loved it. They took it. So the time that they showed up was like in the 70s, and this little girl, or it could be little boy, because it's just a story that wasn't completed yet, ends up getting on the spaceship with them, and they can't land back on the same little click to bring that person back. So they take care of that person, and grows up to be part of them. And then it's different stories from that. They can do this, like the Monkeys Had Adventure. That was a Western one.
Yeah, I remember they played in a saloon together. Like
there's always a song. There's always a song. Depending on the song would be the theme of the cartoon. Like Only Flame for Me had that. And the cartoon's out there. There's on YouTube. You could find Electrical Cars. That song's not even on any album or on internet.
I'd like to share that on our podcast. Can we share the video here? And
Electrical Cars. That's the only cartoon one, that's the only place where you can hear that song.
ocean floor, playing with an electric train. I thought of my brain, it's like I was dead, 'cause I've been burned by acid rain. Oh, what a shame. An electrical car, we can go far, you and me. An electrical car, riding away. Come on, come on, come on, come on, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, it is on the compilation too. Yeah, it's song number 6 on the compilation CD. So the Orange County Rock CD, and we'll put links to that to be able to play it online. Of course, all that will be in the description of the video too. So this will all go up on YouTube, and then we'll link to your digital versions of all your songs. Because like you literally just released an album like in October last
I
year,
released
right?
3 albums in the last 2 years, and I'm proud of these albums. And
Yeah.
I spent a lot of years with my Hot Monkey Love Cafe. One of the cool things that happened when I moved to California is me and my ex-wife bought a cafe together, or we took over the license of it and running it and the whole business of it. We had a cabaret license, and we became Hot Monkey Love for years and years and years. So my music, because it was a lot of work, kind of got put in the back, and we helped support other people. We had Jason Mraz play there. We had Danny Trejo's sons do his first rock concert in one of our Monkey Love, because we had 3 different locations. It still exists. It's called the Queen Bee now. It's in San Diego.
I looked it up at one point when I was trying to find you. I couldn't find you on Facebook, so
But
I
it's
did
still
look it up.
going since 2002. So that's an awesome thing that happened because of that. But I never got to do what I really wanted to do, and now I finally had the chance. And I put together the Red album with Jerry Steelfox, who I met at the Hot Monkey Love Cafe, and we put together a really good album. And I got the art together, and I found an artist who can put my ideas together, and put it out, published it, and then printed it on vinyl and CD. And then I went on to the next one, and I wrote an album that's dealing with my Texas life, because now we live and we have goats, we have chickens, and we have turkeys, and we have dogs. And cats, and all kinds of animals. So it's kind of a very farm, but it's not a farm. It's raising goats and chickens, because we do get eggs and stuff. And one day we'll milk those goats, but we don't have time for that. So anyway, what makes me happy is like, I've been doing this. I've been making these albums, and then I printed the yellow one. Like I said, it's about my Texas life with goats and stuff, and it's a concept album. And then I released an orange album on
They're right over your shoulders.
Halloween.
They're right over your shoulders on your video.
and that one is called Ancient Orange, because it's my first stuff that's finally out on CD and vinyl and mastered and produced, and we added a song, Take My Whiskey Down, that it's never been on any record. So it's a great 3 albums. And now I want to write more songs, and I'm getting ideas. Like I have an idea called Go Get Drunk and Cry. So I need to put the music to it, but I don't have this recording studio set up yet. And I want to set up a recording studio, maybe in here, because the dogs are pretty well behaved. I got old Ferguson over here to the side. They only bark when they got to go to the bathroom. And so
that's a great idea.
And so I want to do that. And then that way I can focus on the vocals and not have to wait 3 months for a 4-hour slot and hope that I nail it, because that's really
let's talk about that. We had a conversation earlier today where you had said that you're recording your guitar and your vocals in Texas, and you send the recordings to a guy who's out here. He's in the desert of California or Arizona.
No, in California, like Palm Desert.
And he's a recording. He's a recording engineer.
Yeah, he's great. He's great at it. We've been doing it for a while now, and I do my vocals and my guitar parts here, and then he does everything else, and we go back and forth till we both happy with what it is, and then it's like, okay, let's go on to the next one. And sometimes a song has horns, and sometimes a song has a harmonica, and it's all in how the song, what it sounds best for the song, and the fact that we sometimes bump heads is awesome, because I don't just get my way all the time, which would be a mess. Because sometimes it's like, oh man, I'm glad I listened to what he said. Because yeah, that works. And that's
Well,
happened. And sometimes I'll stand my ground, like, no. I want the cello, and I want the flute, or
and
whatever.
so, but he's adding all those instruments himself through synthesizers, or however, you know, you add those to the digital recording. But like, you're doing guitars and you're singing, and you're kind of like, here's the tune, and then he kind of helps you complete it. Like, talk about that remote work, because the idea that you're in Texas and he's in California, to me, it blows me away that you're even able to collaborate. Like, do you do video connections or audio, or do you just talk on the phone?
Send him the files. I send him the files.
Okay.
The guy that was recording my parts would put it in a Dropbox, and then Jerry would pick it up off the Dropbox and throw it onto his recording stuff, and then he would use it, and it was perfect.
This is great. And so you've done 3 albums in the last 2 years, and you want to do how many more? You've got enough for another album?
3 more. I want to record all 3 albums worth of music at the same time, and then put them where they belong. That would be great. So it might take a couple of years.
That's so much music. Yeah.
But it would last. And then if I can get through that, hey, that's pretty good. I mean, yeah. I mean, one step at a time. You know,
yeah.
I am 60 years old. So,
well, I love how passionate you still are about making music, because like I said, when I first met you, you already had a huge library of songs, at least 35 songs that I can remember. But like, when you were recording, when I asked you like, hey, let's put 2 songs on the compilation, you gave us Electrical Cars. And in 1995, they didn't even have electrical cars. I think it was a very optimistic song about the future, about how, you know, in the future we'll all be driving electrical cars. So it's kind of a story song. And then was it In My Room or In My Bed? I forgot. I always forget one.
In My Bed.
In My Bed. Yeah. In My Room, I think, is another song from Early Man. I got my Early Man CD here too.
Awesome.
I think they've got a song called In My Room, or maybe that's the Beatles. So anyway, what's that?
The Beach Boys had In My Room.
That's it. That's what I was thinking. Never mind. So you gave us these songs to put on the compilation, and I remember, I don't necessarily remember playing live together, except for at the garage at our rehearsal. Well, it's the garage at our house. We had a house out in West Covina. And so when you were coming to say, hey, let's play these songs together, I remember your band was playing around town, because I would go see you. But I also kind of remember you guys being very young, like in your 20s, like you were a little bit older than the other guys. And like you said earlier in our conversation, that you were very, come on guys, let's get this right. Very military, very, come on, this is how the song goes. We're going to try it again until we get it right. And so, optimistically speaking, at the time, were you hoping to record an album first, or were you really into playing live music in front of a crowd? Because I'd just like to hear that. Was it all about recording music, or was it about playing in front of an audience?
I always wanted to sound good with the band, but the #1 goal since I was 10 years old is I would draw album covers, and listening to Led Zeppelin and seeing the album covers and the Beatles and their album covers and Black Sabbath, their album covers. That's all I wanted to do when I first got into music. I didn't dream of going out and playing, you know, but I love to play for my friends and like get together with people that I know and just enjoy that moment. It's awesome when it sounds great, but I think I always wanted to get a record. I wanted to make a record. And we had a guy that was the manager of the Shantays who played that song. Is it dun 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 dun? It was a drum, kind of a rockabilly Dick Dale. No. It was on I think Pulp Fiction. But anyway, he was the manager of the Shantays. Just a guitar, no singing.
Yeah, I like that song.
And so he got us in the studio and we recorded some songs. Was it after? It was after Orange County Rock. County Rock. We did that with this guy, and we did a demo of 4 songs, and then that was it. Nothing came out of it. So, and it took forever to go back and forth and get something. So it got to a point where I just kept making music and doing shows because I loved it.
Yeah.
And if you're not making a record, you still have all those songs that you write, and you want people to hear them. And the only way they're going to hear them is if you go out and play them somewhere. And and then you get your little fans that love everything you do because they like your music.
Well, let's talk
And
about that. Remember
yeah,
when we first met, this was like we've talked about this on the podcast. We were at the very beginning of the internet, and the internet becoming like going from America Online to like morphing into Napster and morphing into MySpace, morphing into Friendster, and then eventually Facebook. Like this, did the early on internet, did you see the internet as a way to distribute your music, or did you have any early experiences posting music online? Because I know later on you're all over Spotify now, and your music's on Apple iTunes, and your music is available on, like you said, YouTube earlier. But what was your early experiences sharing your music online, or did you ever do any of that?
God.
Like, where were you giving your demos, or where were you handing your music? Were you
It was the YouTube videos.
Okay?
And it took so long to get to that point that you could do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Before
kind
you
of
had
why
that,
that's
you
why
had to
we're
have
doing this
somebody
podcast
do it.
now. It's like it's never too late to start. This is the weirdest part. When I was talking to Ken Maru, he's the guitar player from Bread Circus as well, and he said our generation is like a do-it-yourself generation. Like we just knew, hey, if we're going to get this done, we have to do it ourselves. And so I remember you constantly saying, I want to do this album, and it's going to be a red monkey, and there's going to be an orange monkey and blue monkey. And this is from 35 years ago. I remember these stories, and you were always so adamant about, no, these are the characters. This is also part of my music, and here's my songs. And you had so many songs that you had in your brain. Like, how did you keep track of it all? Do you have a library of like recordings? Do you have notebooks? How do you keep track of your music?
I would play them over and over again. And finally, these last 2 years, 2024 and 2025, I finally got to release them.
Yeah.
The red one, and then it was the yellow one, and then it was the orange one. And I'm very proud of them. And I enjoy listening to them.
Yeah.
I know some artists say, oh, I don't listen to my own music, but I do, because I want to get ideas about other songs, and I want to learn from things. I want to pick up what I did right and what I'd like to do different, or something that I'd like to try different. So I do listen. I go back to them from time to time. I do listen to my Smashing Pumpkins or Wet Leg or whatever I'm into at the moment.
Where are your recordings from, like 1995 all the way until 3 years ago? Do you have a library?
On CD, and my new computer doesn't have a CD player, so I have to go inside to get the DVD player and then play the CDs on the DVD player. Or I can find an old CD
Did
player.
you ever upload those to like Spotify or YouTube or anything?
No.
Oh, wow. No kidding.
None of that's out there. All this is from the 3 years.
As a musician, though, a playing musician, what were some of your favorite shows that you did? Where were some of your favorite
There
venues?
was a CD release party show that we did. I think it was for the Orange County Rock.
Okay.
And it was
at Club 369.
Yeah.
Club 369. Yeah.
And I think we had Jeremy on lead guitar that time, because Alex, who was on the recording, was not at the show.
Yeah.
Because of whatever dumb stuff is.
I think you guys weren't getting along. I mean, let's be honest about it. You guys were not getting along very well.
Yeah. So, but it was a good show.
Yeah.
We felt good. We were happy with it, And
I have that on my Facebook banner. I had put out a CD and had everybody sign the board that
that was one of my favorite shows. Yeah, that was an awesome show. And a couple of coffee shops here and there, and under a tree with a girl here and there, and for my work in Chicago, and just various.
Did you ever do any busking?
And it's always with friends.
Yeah,
it's never trying to conquer the world, and you
weren't trying to get rich doing it. Like, you weren't trying to do it for money, or
to be heard. I want everyone to hear my music. Of course, you want everyone to like your music, and maybe it's not everybody's favorite music, but ELO's not my favorite band, but I just listened a whole week of ELO because I like them a lot. So
every time I go to the bar, I'd play "Don't Bring Me Down." It's one of my favorite.
Don't Bring Me Down, Bruce.
It does, Drew. I like that song.
Yeah.
So when I think about, did you ever do any busking? Like, were you out on the street?
Yeah,
like,
I had this hippie girlfriend once, and we go to the beach, Ocean Beach and then the other beach, and we would just take our guitars on the beach and play. Yeah, and we
I
would
like
do
that.
songs like on the Orange album. Wait, on the Yellow album is a song called "The Spider,"
Mhm.
and it I wanted it to sound like, because the words are lying on my floor. You could be a sunflower. I could be a spider in the corner in your shower, because it was based on something. I saw a little spider in the corner of a shower, and there was a sunflower bath mat, and that just became a song.
That's
The
awesome.
rest don't have to mean anything, but it's on the Yellow album. It's called The Spiders, and
Well,
it,
let's play a clip from it right now. Can I play a clip from
yes,
it?
sir.
Let's do
And
it.
I
All right.
wanted it to sound like a bathroom, so that's why it has the lo-fi, because all the rest of the album is hi-fi. It's
Mhm.
big production. That one is in a shower, and there's a little spider, and I wanted the feeling of it, so that's why it sounds. That's what I wanted it to sound like.
Lying on the floor, you could be a sunflower. I could be a Spider-Man in a corner in your shower. Lying on the floor, you could be a sunflower, and I could be a Spider-Man in a corner in your shower. The song you wanna sing, bouncing in your head. You are Billie Holiday and a Sunday in my head. And the song you wanna sing, bouncing in your head. You are Billie Holiday on a Sunday in my head.
I love it. I love your I just love your vibe, Rick. I've always loved your vibe. But every time I talk to you, man, I'm so excited to like listen to your music and connect with you. Like
Well,
through
on the
this
Yellow
listen.
album, the Yellow Daisies, Goats and Cars, it's
Mhm.
yellow because the album's yellow, Daisy because there's a song called Daisy, the new Daisy Sunflower. It's about my little dog and her and the Pomeranian that loves her so much. It could be about anything or anyone. And then it's Yellow Daisies, uh Sunflowers, and Goats. No. That's wrong. It's my own album, and I don't even Yellow Daisies, Goats, and Cars.
There you
Because
go.
goats, because there's a song called Looking for Goats. It's the first song, and I love that
Yeah.
song. And it's a great song, and it's so catchy. I heard a coworker when I was playing the demo, she
Mhm.
was singing along the first time she ever heard it. So I go, that's gonna be the first song on the Yellow album. And then Cars, because there's a medley called Day In, Day Out. That's really about my life because it's a soundscape. It's like you get up in the morning and the car doesn't work, so the girlfriend picks you up and takes you to work, and it's the day, and that's the part two, and it's called Welcome Home Halo because it's about my little goat named Halo,
Mhm.
and she was a little special, so we kept her apart, and she was like a puppy, and when I got home, she was always happy to see me. So that's the middle part, and then the part about the end of the day when you never say anything new about your day, and you always knew everything average about my day. It's actually awesome. It's a medley. It's called Day In, Day Out. That's on the Yellow album, and it references back to My Sky, My Kite because it's the reprise. So even though it's not a very Sergeant Pepper concept album, it's my life with the goats and the animals concept album.
You're
And
such
I'm
a
very proud of it.
storyteller.
Oh,
You're the
it's
story
awesome. It's
behind,
awesome
yeah.
because the first three songs, there's the goats, and then the other song, you're going to hear a dog. And then in the next song, you're going to hear some seagulls. And then at the end, the goats come back. And then there's another barking dog. And it's a lot of back and forth. And it's not like the red and the yellow. The red and the orange are very like albums. The yellow one was me trying something different. And so it hit different. And it
Mhm.
took longer to like, okay, but now I find that's the one I listen to the most. And there's a couple of people that young girls and guys, and it's like, I like the Yellow album. That's the one I listen to the most. But there's also other people like Jerry Stillfox, like knows famous musicians, the guy that played on the George Harrison album 33 and a Third, and all these other people, because he lives in
Yeah.
the desert. So he knows all these people. Um, Loved the Red album, loved every song, but did not like the Yellow album. And when Jerry told me, he goes, you could tell he was bummed. He goes, he loved the Red album. He loved all the songs, but he said,
Yeah.
Yellow one, he goes, not so much.
You were kind of outside his comfort zone. Like
Yeah. So I like that every song is different, and then different people have different favorite songs, and different people have different favorite albums.
Mhm.
Another coworker said, I think the orange one's my favorite.
Did you ever get to meet and play with any famous musicians yourself? Or did you play for them?
Jason Mraz, I did his sound.
Okay.
At the Hot Monkey Love Cafe, I did a sound every time he played. He'd always be, it was Bushwalla.
Dishwalla.
No, Bush something.
Mhm.
And his roommate was Jason Mraz. It was Bushwalla and Mr. AZ. And he was going by Mr. AZ, which was Jason Mraz. And he would be his guest every time for like a whole month. He did every Thursday or whatever day it was at the Hot Monkey Love. And
that's great.
So I did the sound for them, you know, and it was cool. We had it all set up like a jungle with the bamboo and stuff, and then the people that come in for the city, so you can't have that on the wall. That's a fire hazard, man.
Yeah.
But it looked awesome. It looked awesome. And then I'd make his coffee drinks too, or the girls, you know, my ex's daughters that helped a lot with the cafes.
I'm hoping through this conversation, some new people discover your music, and we're definitely going to be sharing a lot of your songs or little clips from your songs, but we're going to link to all your social media stuff, all your Spotify and your Apple music. But when I think about getting like an autograph or a signed vinyl, like I'm sure if somebody reaches out to me or reaches out to you, you'll put a little note, because I loved it. You sent me a box full of your records. I got them right here next to me. And you put a little CD in there, you put a little monkey in there. I'm like, oh, this is so great, dude. I love your vibe, but I also love that your message has kind of softened over the years. Like, I remember early on, you really, really, really wanted to play all the time and get that music out there, and people can discover you, and let's get this animation going, and let's make that cartoon, and let's do this and let's do that. And none of it we didn't have backing, we didn't have money, we didn't have a studio behind us. And I kept thinking, like, who can I ask for a favor, who can help, and like the DIY group that we had together, like people were helping each other, kind of we put on shows, or we'd have a promoter. But really, when the internet came out and kind of destroyed the economics of music, and I hate to say that because Metallica was like the first one to sue Napster, but I was also discovering way more music through the internet, because I was taking demo CDs that people were mailing me, or demo tapes or records, and I was encoding them and putting them on to my OC Music website that I had back in 1994, 1995. And so I was an early adopter of, like, early on, let's post some music online. And we were using like real audio files. So they were compressed files that we were able to stream. They sounded terrible, but they were, even before MP3s, like these were real audio files. And then here comes Napster, MySpace, and then here comes Pandora. And then all of a sudden now you could just listen to all the music you want for free because nobody got paid. The songs would be there. Somebody would publish the song, and then next thing you know, there's 1,000 copies. And we were talking about what was that one thing you'd have to download in order to LimeWire? You get LimeWire, and you go out there and look up a song, and you download it, and it'd be a virus for your computer. You're like, oh, oops, shouldn't have downloaded that song. But like, so it was kind of the Wild Wild West early on. When it came to, like, you never knew what you were going to get or like some song, like I forget what artist it was, they accidentally released one online, whether it's Taylor Swift or Britney Spears or something. And it was like 50 seconds of blank, nothing. And that got downloaded like 5 million times because people thought it was a brand new song and it was just a blank audio file. And I thought, if that song can get streamed 5 million times and all it is silence, I could come up with a hit song tomorrow, and I'll put that dog barking or the squirrel eating nuts or something. I'll just call it like squirrel eating nuts. And you never know. People might think it's a squirrel nut zipper song, and they might download 5 million copies of it. Who knows?
You never know.
And then I'll get a check for $7 in the mail. Here's your $7. So really, the reason why I did this channel was to expose some artists and new artists to a new audience, and hopefully I can build an audience to introduce people to, you know, Rick Felan and Hot Monkey Love. But like, I also am discovering new bands myself, like, and Alex and I went out a couple weeks ago and heard some new music, young 24, 23, 22-year-olds that are writing songs about love and songs about relationships and songs about identity. And I thought, oh, this is so great, because I do think music is universal, but I heard new music and it didn't sound like Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift, or it didn't sound like grunge rock or punk or ska. Like, it was kind of a new, peppy, poppy, bouncy music, and I'm like, wow, this is great. I fell in love with these artists. Like, they're called Goosetown. Her name's Amore. I'm gonna play some of. Well, I just did a podcast with her. I have her. She gave me a sticker. It says Goosetown, but like Goosetown, and Now or Never were these two groups that we just heard, and they're on TikTok.
To myself.
Oh, I will, certainly.
Goosetown. I don't want to forget that.
But they're on TikTok, and Amore, she's the lead singer of that group. She's just a delightful person, and the way that Alex and I talked about it was, it's so great to be like the old guy in the room. We're the mentors now, and these young and up and coming energetic groups, they just want to get in front of anybody. They'll play for their friends, like we used to do back in the day. Like, you know, hey, let's go and we'll do a show at this coffee shop or this, you know, little bar.
That was the most fun, playing for your friends.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And you'd get to know your crowd, your audience. You get to know them by name and get their phone number.
When you get into the system and the pay to play and the whole booking and the whole business part of it, it becomes not fun.
Did you ever play up in LA like Roxy or the Whiskey or any of those shows?
I'm trying to remember if we did one show. Oh, we did one show. It was when I had the early first band, the twins, the one that played the saxophone and the one that played the keyboards, and we weren't called Hot Monkey Love back then, because it wasn't Oscar in them. It was before them. And this is when I first moved to California, and I was working at Ralph's or one of the grocery stores or Alpha Beta or something. And I met this girl, and she goes, I have these friends that want to start a band, and it was the twins. And we played, it was a Capitol. They were looking for new bands. This was like 1991, and they were looking for new bands. And because the twins had money and they knew how to get into things, we were in there, and we played for this rep for Capitol or Electra, or I think it was Capitol. And he liked the band. He thought it was catchy, but he'd like to see us in a few years and see how we develop. But it was a positive thing.
Sure.
One of the songs that's on the Orange album is from that show. It's called Everybody Knows She's My Baby. And then I think Baby You Were Wrong, and I think Take My Whiskey Down, because those are the old, that's why it's called Ancient Orange. It's the first songs that I wrote. There's some new songs on there, but there's some, and I think they're like, it's a child. Just because you have a new child, that old child is not loved still. I still love that old child, because that old child makes me laugh, or that old child makes me think of cool thoughts. So I love all my music, the old stuff like the Take My Whiskey Down, and the new stuff like Hopefully Blue. You know, I like all of it. I like all of it. And there's only one song that I don't like out of the 3 albums.
Don't mention it.
Tell anyone which one it is.
Yeah, I know my mom. I always tell my mom I'm her favorite son. She's got 4 sons. I'm like, we all know who the worst son is, and we know that I'm her favorite. So it's a fight between the other 2 on which was second and third.
My mom says that I'm her favorite, but then she also says, you're my only son. And I go, it's not that hard to be your favorite. Just be.
If there's only one.
And I make her laugh, and she has a blast. We talk about silly things. My mom's funny. I think I get my sense of humor from my mom.
Is she near you? Is she living in Texas, or where's she?
She's living in San Diego. She's there with my 2 sisters. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I appreciate talking to you. This is our first conversation, Rick. I hope we can get together and talk some more.
Of course, brother. Of course, you got.
Now that we got all the technical stuff worked out, we'll come up with some actual.
That was crazy,
interview
right?
questions.
It was like,
there
was no sound. I was running from one house to the other, getting chased by a boat.
And if the people watching this now, they're going to realize this is a Google Meet, not Zoom, because for some reason Zoom video worked, but Zoom audio didn't work. And so we worked out the technicals, and we're recording at night. This is the first night podcast, and it's what now? It's after midnight.
Light bulbs, it worked.
It's in Texas. He is risen in Texas, and
Yes, sir.
we're coming up on Easter in about an hour and a half down here in California. So,
It is Easter.
what's it like? What's it like living in the future? You're 2 hours ahead, man. You could tell me all the stuff that's going to happen in the next 2
I
hours.
feel like I'm moving forward in life.
That's so good, Rick. You are still young in heart, dude. I really am
Thank you,
so
my
happy
brother.
we reconnected.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how we lost touch. I think you just got off of Facebook. Like you're like, man.
Yeah, I don't do the Facebook, and I don't have time.
Oh, you
And the-
got so many animals. You're like
And the
like.
TikTok, and the TikTok, I don't do the TikTok anymore. I don't have time.
Ugh, you got to feed that beast so many things all day long, every day. They just want you on there 24
Well,
hours.
there's 28 goats.
Oh my God.
There's 28 goats.
Why don't you have a goat channel on TikTok? You should just
It could
record your
be
goat videos.
27, but I think I keep counting the same one twice. Some of them, but there's at least 27, 28 goats.
At least if they were sheep and you kept counting them, maybe you'd be falling asleep in the afternoon.
Oh, each one of these goats have their own personalities.
I
They're
bet
awesome.
they do.
They're
And
awesome.
we got to get old Ferguson out there to make amends with the other
Oh,
goats.
you met Ferguson. Ferguson's a pretty cool dog.
I bet he is, dude. And you're a pretty cool cat, man. You're
I try,
my
my brother,
favorite
I try.
monkey.
You are too, my friend. You are too. Yes,
You're
sir.
my favorite
Just as much
monkey.
as me. Just as much as me.
You know, Alex's favorite band is the Monkees, and so
I knew the Monkees before the Beatles because we all saw it on TV.
no kidding, yeah. And they were American too, right? Or no, I guess
Yeah.
some of them were British. I don't know.
Davy Jones was the British dude.
Okay,
Yeah, and the other ones were Americans.
I just remember seeing him on Brady Bunch.
Oh,
He
the
was
girl
on
had a
TV.
crush on him.
Oh yeah.
Marsha. She had a crush on Davy Jones. Yep.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up here, Rick. We'll
Yes,
say goodnight.
sir.
We'll
Yes,
say
sir.
goodnight for tonight.
Good
I'll
night
put some
tonight.
stuff together. Yeah, and then we'll get together another day and talk some more. Maybe next Wednesday.
All right. Well, let me know what's going on, my friend, and I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, and people, this is Rick Felan from Hot Monkey Love. Send him some love. Go listen to his music on Spotify. You're gonna love his music as much as I do. I know you will, and I guarantee it.
Thank you for watching the OC Music Podcast. And thanks, Rick, for joining us tonight. It was great to hear about your colorful music. Reconnecting has been so much fun.